Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 211 for the 22nd of September, which is actually yesterday. So before I start, I wanted to tell you guys, please don't press the like button until in the middle of the video. So just to know, this is just an experiment. I'm kind of worried that because you guys are always pressing the like button very early, right? Sometimes even before the video plays, and this might actually be not counted by YouTube as a legitimate like. So so if you have already pressed the like button, please press unlike and like it, maybe 1-2 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes into the video. I think that will help. Or any point of the video that you actually you like what you're hearing, or you actually dislike what you're hearing, just press like. Okay, so don't press dislike. No, don't press dislike, okay, unless you hate me. So anyway, let's start off with some statements. So the referendum has started, in fact, and somehow the information also says is for the Luhansk. So there is voting already started, but it's kind of weird because I already see videos and photos of the referendum, of the voting starting, but this information coming from Ryba say that the referendum starts on the 27th from 8 to 4, and then in the Donetsk is from 8 to 8. Perhaps it's actually not start on 27. Maybe the translation is wrong, maybe it's until the 27th. So begin voting will last until the 27th inclusively. This is correct. So that means it's until the 27th. Somehow the second, I took the information from the second one, which is kind of weird. So anyway, the referendum is ongoing, and this is going to change the entire complex of this entire conflict for this entire week. And that being said, let's go on to the southern front. At the southern front, for this fighting at reported at Pravidane, where the Ministry of Defense of Russia claims that the entire offensive, which is pretty big, has been entirely defeated by the Russian forces, and this is actually acknowledged by the pro-Ukrainian source, Deep State UA, that this attack has been a failure. So we have a corroboration from the pro-Ukrainian side that this attack mentioned at Pravidane by the Russian Defense Ministry is actually valid. There's no active fighting so far here at the the Kherson offensive or the Mykolaiv front. We didn't have anything on the Mykolaiv front, and nothing at the Snihurivka region. Moving on to the Davydiv front. At the Davydiv front, there is actually no fighting. There's only a reported airstrike. It seems to be in the middle of the night. This airstrike that struck something called FABs, the fabulous people at the position of the Ukrainian gut. Anyway, this is because there is still the stronghold being set up at Suki Stavok, and a lot of forces has been gathering around here, so it becomes a major target for the Russian forces to try to discourage the Ukrainians to continue to hold this position around here. And that being said, in the middle of the night, also there is reported light track vehicles, probably M113, being moved from Berezne Huvate and towards the Ihulets River. So they are moving towards the front line. And according to Ryba, the pro-Russian source, they analyzed that this could be a sign that Ukrainians are going to launch an offensive. Coincides with the referendum that is currently happening over here in the Kherson region. And over at the Kryvyi Rih front, we have no updates or anything happening. Based on previous information that we have already reported, looks like the likelihood is that the reinforcement that has come over the past week will probably be used to launch an offensive, probably today or tomorrow. The kind of feeling I have, because the referendum has just started. The Ukrainians will want to disrupt the referendum as much as they can. Moving on to the Zaporizhzhia Line, similarly, it's very quiet over here. We have the information of the concentration of forces at Boyaipo and Orekiv in the previous summary, and also the previous reports before that of the Ukrainian reinforcement and a demining operation close to the Nestyarenka over here. So similar to the situation at the southern front at the Stot Kherson offensive, looks like the Ukrainians might be launching a major offensive today or tomorrow, to really wreck the situation at the referendum. Over at the Donetsk front, the usual happened after the very quiet day the day before, where both Russian and Ukrainian side is trying to rebrief and regroup, replan their operations because of the onset of this referendum. And fighting is reported at Novomikhailivka as the Russians continue to hit this location for some reason, which is totally unreported by the pro-Russian side. And the fighting now resumes across the entire Donetsk front as both sides has already fixed their plans, and the Russians are going to want to keep the Ukrainian forces busy. However, the Ukrainian forces launch an offensive towards Pisky from Vodian and Povomaisky. So this is some kind of like a pincer of sort towards Pisky. So we have no updates regarding how successful it is. According to Ryber, the pro-Russian source, they said it's just a regular unsuccessful counterattack. So it's kind of dismissive from the Ryber. And on the Russian side, they do attack Opayne, according to the Ukraine Defense Ministry. Over on the northeast side of Adivka city, there is fighting reported at Kayamka. So this settlement has been lost to the Ukrainians since the early of the September. We do not have acknowledgement from the pro-Russian side yet about this, which is why there is this overlapping front line over here. There is no more fighting. There's no fighting around the New York region here. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry continues to report fighting at Mayos, which is very awkward because the Russians, very loudly, or the Donetsk people or Luhansk people very loudly celebrated the capture of Mayos, but the Ukrainian Defense Ministry continued to report fighting at Mayos all the way until today. Fighting is reported at Zaporizhzhia, and there is a situation at Bakhmut where the Ukrainian forces have blown up the bridge at Bakhmut, a road bridge that connects the eastern and the center part of the city. So allegedly is to stop the advance of the Wagner PMC, the private military contractors. However, they are not known to be so close to the river yet. There's still some distance. The distance is around at the closest point could be only could be 1.3 kilometers. At the furthest point could be around 1.8 kilometers. So it's still some distance away, but looks like the Ukrainians don't want to take a chance. It remains to be seen whether the Ukrainians still have forces around here, but blowing up the bridge without them crossing over seems to be a bit naughty. Maybe they are pranking them, like trolling them, like, haha, you can't cross. Then any boo-boo, kind of situation. There's no fighting reported at Soledar. Moving on to the Siversk Front. At the Siversk Front, the Russians continue to try to take back Sperne. We previously have reported reinforcement where a detachment of the Wagner private military contractors are sent to this area after the Ukrainians have a breakthrough and captured the small little town of Sperne. I'm not even sure if it's still a town now after so much fighting. Moving on to the Lyman Front. Previously, this is called the Sloviansk Front, but because of the developments over here east of Oskil town, this entire area is now renamed as Lyman Front, as the focus is on the Lyman city, or Krasny Lyman, or Crispy Lemon. So, according to Ryba, since the morning or as of 1 p.m. on the 22nd of September, the Ukrainian forces have attacked Lyman from the direction of Dibrova and Shushrov. Shushrov is here, Shushrove, and this is attacking from the south and west of Lyman. And with this information, we can acknowledge that Dibrova is definitely under Ukrainian control. So there is a flag for the Ukrainians over here. So the fighting is going on from the south and the east, from the west, and putting a lot of pressure on the Russian defenders. And there's a reinforcement also reported at the vicinity of Yampil. We do not have information that Yampil has fallen to the Ukrainians yet, so it's definitely not at Yampil but near Yampil, where the 103rd Territorial Defense Brigade has arrived, probably to act as a holding force, while the regular forces and the foreign fighters will be able to push forward. And then there is a breakthrough reported much later in the day or even in the evening, where an armored group have broke through at the northwest region of Lyman. And this breakthrough actually leads to a situation reported by War Gonzo that the Ukrainian forces have entered the rear of the Russian position from the north of Lyman city. So which actually looks like a hook. So after the breakthrough, there's no more defenders around here. They break to the rear and then attack from the north. So Lyman is currently now in danger of encirclement with only 1 or 2 roads they can use, especially this road. This is the only main road that they can use for reinforcement and resupply. And should the Ukrainian forces continue to push towards the rear and cut off this road, the Russian forces at Lyman will be encircled. According to Ryba, they also say that Stavky is actually a target for the Ukrainian forces. I personally do not think it's very important to have Stavky unless they capture the Drobyshev, which is actually one of the things that they are doing now. They are trying to capture Drobyshev, and they have been fighting here for a few days already. And the success of capturing Drobyshev will allow the Ukrainian forces to move on to Stavky and use this as a base to attack Zaporizhzhia or cut off the reinforcement to Lyman. And there is reports of reinforcement arriving at Yarova, where there are additional forces and several multiple launch rocket system transferred to Yarova region. And with this information, we can confirm that Yarova has been captured by the Ukrainian forces as well as Zaporizhzhia. So this information also coming from the pro-Russian source Ryba, and this reinforcement to Yarova might also suggest that they might be launching an offensive to capture Novoselivka, and that will continue to pressure the Russians to actually fall back further. The Shandry Holove will be one of these major towns that to look out for, as this is actually a tri-junction. Moving on to the Oskil region, or the Oskil east of Oskil town. The latest information from Ryba shows that the Ukrainian forces is attacking from Group C and Lozove towards Rikorub and Kapivka, which means that Lozove and Group C has been captured by the Ukrainian forces. The exact fighting is reported between Kapivka and Lozove, so it's actually fighting among the fields and the farmland around this area. While this is happening, information appears on War Gonzo, where they say reconnaissance has been spotted at Korovia. So at Korovia, the Ukrainian recon has been spotted, which means that it won't be long before the Ukrainian force will be mustered and launched southward to capture Sandry Holove. If Sandry Holove is captured, the entire Russian lines around here will have to be abandoned and to retreat westward towards Stavky, or even towards the river line here at Terny and Yampolivka, because this is more defendable than anywhere around here. So which then will lead to a Balaklia-like collapse, Balaklia offensive collapse, where the Ukrainians just spread across the line, and then they actually just capture multiple settlements at one shot. That could actually happen. So this current situation is extremely hazardous for the Russian side. And for more analysis on this part, you can actually watch the quick updates on this Lyman Front. You can go to the main channel, just click and look at the channel, or you can, at the end of this video, I will actually put the link to that video. Moving on to the Oskil Front. At the Oskil Front, similar situation is happening where there is breakthrough being reported. Over at Zaporizhzhia, after previous attempt to cross the river has failed, the Ukrainians have finally succeeded, and they actually take a bridge hit across Zaporizhzhia. This is reported by the pro-Russian source Ryber. And further up north, there is also an attempt to cross towards Zaporizhzhia, but the crossing at Zaporizhzhia has been partially disabled because the Russians has launched missile strike against the crossing. 4 BMP-1s were reportedly damaged, but it's only damaged, partially disabled, which means the crossing is still working. So this bridgehead might actually be established. And with the establishment of a bridgehead here, the Ukrainians is likely to go for Tavizanka and cut off any reinforcement coming out from the north towards East Kupiansk. So this is significant in that sense. And over at Kupiansk, fighting is reported at Kupiansk. In the area of Kupiansk, this is reported by the Ukraine Defense Ministry. But further information from Ryber suggests that the Ukrainians have set up pontoons across the two sides of Kupiansk, which means that Ukrainian forces will be able to surge East Kupiansk and overwhelm the Russian lines that is currently on the outskirt, the eastern outskirt of Kupiansk city. So this is also another bad situation, and should Kupiansk fall, the Ukrainians will be able to, just like the Balaglia offensive I mentioned earlier, they will be able to spread across this undefended land undeterred, and this will actually mess up the Luhansk referendum, and it's going to freak out people at Svatove and Starobilsk pretty significantly. So anyway, this is the summary for the day of 211 for the 22nd of September. And if you watched till this point and you haven't pressed the like button, please press the like button. And there's 50% of you haven't subscribed to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel, and this will help the channel to grow, as the channel is severely being curbed from growing and reaching more people by YouTube. Unfortunately, I have analyzed all the analysis and all the analytics that I can, and I can only come to this conclusion that YouTube is severely limiting the reach, which is why the views on this channel is much lesser than the views being seen on other channels that is also reporting of the Ukraine war. So I need your help to share this video to your friends and contacts, so that more people will be able to see the reporting from Defense Politics Asia. And thank you everyone for watching to this point, and I'll see you in the next update.